Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another edition
Unboxed.
of Unboxed.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. We unbox things, current, controversial things that are going around, topics, so to speak, headlines, what have you. That's what we do. And look, the support and backlash have been overwhelming. So appreciate you. And, we're going to continue to do what we do. Hopefully we get canceled. That's what it's all about. You're going to go until you get canceled.
You get censored as it wins.
It's 2022. It is what it is. 2023, we'll figure it out. Hopefully we can reenact our First Amendment rights with our new president at some point in 2024.
And the new Twitter founder.
CEO. Or
Damn
not
near.
CEO. He's not
Yeah,
CEO.
he'll be.
You know what's crazy?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, 9% of the company. He's now majority stakeholder.
God, I love that.
It's so awesome. He said,
and they hate it. They hate it.
They hate it. Everybody hates it.
They fucking hate it.
They say, hey, he said, we need a new social media platform. And he said he looked at probably everything out there. He got some people together and he said, you know what?
I'm just going to buy this shit.
It'd probably be better if I'm a majority shareholder.
Do you see they limited him, though? They will never allow him to own more than $15 billion worth of stock.
Which would be, he's at 9% now at
So it'd be
$3
like
billion. So times
11,
5. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. Makes total sense.
Fucking awesome, though.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
What do you think about, before we get into our topic, what do you think about all these crazy, because I know you are a Pat McAfee fan. I know that you follow
him.
the
Love those
NFL
guys.
and really sports just in general quite a bit. What do you think about all these crazy record-setting, every single one of them, these contracts that people are getting? I mean, we just had, who just got a crazy extension? Someone just got a crazy extension.
No, Stephon Diggs on the
Stephon
Bills.
Diggs,
He got paid.
4 years, $96 million. I mean, fuck.
Dude. I mean, NFL's making so much fucking money. Like they're signing with Amazon and Apple and you name it, Netflix. Like they're such a well-run organization. I'm all for it.
Do you think Roger Goodell's a good commissioner? Think he's better than Adam Silver?
Yeah, I do. I actually do. I think, which I've never, I own my own company now, so I feel that I would never ever pander to the fucking woke mob. This stuff. But I also don't have a 10 billion, whatever. What's that? 100 billion?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. So it's easy for me to judge not being at that position. I think he's done a good job.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think some of the Black Lives Matter stuff was kind of getting ridiculous, but they actually handled it okay.
I think
they weren't like the NBA. They didn't have it on every fucking station and on the courts. They just had it on their helmets, and everyone was respectful. Let them kneel for a year. Now it's no more.
Yeah, I think these contracts continue to just go and go and go. I mean, what's the end? Every swinging dick that thinks they're decent or has a great agent, whatever the case is, like there's so many people that are coming through that are about to get paid. Dude, Kyler Murray in Arizona here. There's so many, Lamar Jackson, so on and so forth. What do you mean?
Like the way he basically deleted all his Arizona photos, and
I think you should get your money. And I think there's multiple ways.
If you're that good.
I don't think he's that good, but that's just not that he's not that good. I just don't think he's worth $50 million a year, which is what the going price is for a franchise quarterback. My point is you got to get your money somehow. And go get your money. Like, go get it. However, it's just interesting how he did. I think he could have took a very, very different approach.
I think he saw the, Baker situation, who was his...
Poor guy.
The guy above him at Oklahoma. Yeah. And Baker didn't negotiate his contract. They pushed it. He gets hurt. The shit kicked out of him. Now he's dropped from the Browns. He's not even going to be a starting quarterback next year.
It's sad, actually.
Poor guy. Like, I mean, he's still worth probably $20-30 million. He's got plenty of money.
Yeah.
But he's getting hosed. So
but he should be getting paid $30 million a year.
Yeah, he should have signed the extension immediately and taken his money. And
so he's trying to do it a year before Kyler is.
Yeah, he's like, I'm small.
Yeah, it's unique.
I'm going to get beat up.
Yeah.
And I'm that good. I took you guys from, what were we, 2-11?
We were terrible. Yeah, we were terrible.
I don't even know. We were terrible. And then
5-11.
We're damn near there at the playoffs the year before. This last year, we started out that's our trend is we start hot and fucking.
Yeah, well, you also ran into the Super Bowl champs. Los Rams, dog.
Cody thinks he's a Rams fan now.
Hold on. I've been a Rams fan. I am a 100% bandwagon fan. There ain't no doubt about it. But I've been a fan of the Los Angeles Rams since they moved to LA. They had shitty wink, limp dick, Jared Goff. They had Todd, Quad, Gurley in the backfield in 2017-18, boy. But yeah, it's been a ride. We won, but
hey, hot take though.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Jared Goff than Baker Mayfield.
You made me fucking sick. Baker Mayfield?
Yeah.
I would too.
I would rather
thought you
have
said-
Mac Jones than Baker Mayfield.
Mac Jones
I'd rather
and
have Tua than Baker Mayfield.
No, that's way too hot of a take. Tua?
I'd rather have Mitch Trubisky than Baker Mayfield.
I think you're high.
Baker Mayfield is trash.
You mean bitch Trubisky? He's so soft, he
Dude,
can't even watch fucking ESPN.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna end it here, but no one knows this. Okay, Matt Nagy, when he first became the Bears, so I have to do this. Matt Nagy, when he became the Bears coach for the first 2 years, everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's an offensive genius. His play calling, his play design is unparalleled." Okay?
Oh my god.
Okay, so he had Mitch Trubisky, and they actually went to the playoffs every year. They had Trubisky. Okay. Do you know who you guys all love? You guys love Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers. Oh, God. Kyle Shanahan is so fucking good. You know, Matt Nagy, even after his last season, where it was an absolute blowout, they were trash with Andy Dalton and whoever the fuck else they had. He has a better win percentage than Kyle Shanahan. Mm-hmm. And Kyle Shanahan signed like an 8-year, 10-year deal. Kyle Shanahan is trash. 49ers are trash. Matt Nagy is going to be a good coach somewhere, and Mitch Trubisky is going to be better than Baker Mayfield, career-wise. Calling it now.
Wow.
Hot take.
There's a lot of people in the world, and there's only a few.
Share this. Comment.
There's only a few that are Matt Nagy supporters. I mean, I
mean, the numbers don't lie.
I know, but I've never.
Nagy's at a better win percentage.
I've never. I mean,
with Trubisky,
we're on this golf trip, and I literally was like, you were talking, you and I got in this argument. I'm like, I've never seen somebody passionately
it pissed me off that everyone just turned. They went from and I always feel like coaches get the short end of the stick. It's like. They'll be like 3-4 years. You have a chance to do it. They'll get you to the playoffs every year, and then they just don't ever take you to the next jump, and then they fire you.
Yeah,
it's not the coach's fault. Who the fuck
carousel, man?
Who the fuck's on the Bears?
It's a carousel. Well, speaking of
who's good, they just got rid of Robinson. Who the fuck do they have? Khalil Mack they got rid of.
Yeah, well, he's on the Chargers now. I mean, there's two great teams in LA.
I like the Chargers.
One's more dominant and has a Super Bowl win. Speaking of turns,
God, Herbert is gonna. I hope Herbert pitches your Rams so bad.
We need to do a whole episode just on the NFL. Yeah, I think we'd have a great time.
Politics and
we could wear jerseys.
People. We can just talk sports.
Yeah,
argue.
Fuck it. Be like Pat McAfee. I'm gonna wear a tank top.
Wait, we should do that.
Wait, what?
Pat McAfee. What? No, I'll be AJ.
What?
Just smoke a cigar. I'll smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
Really just
speaking of turns, you ready for the topic today?
Yeah.
Speaking of turns, if I'm a third grade teacher or below in Florida, their careers turned around quite a bit. People are quitting and all kinds of stuff. Our topic today, Chris, is the anti-gay bill, which is actually called the Parental
Rights Bill.
Parental Rights Bill.
Florida Parental Rights Bill.
And we're going to talk through this. This is, we're at April 2022 for those that are watching in 2026 or what have you, even if podcasts aren't live.
When they throw us in the gulag and we no longer exist.
Yeah, or we just die.
In 100 years from now.
Yeah, you exercise your First Amendment right.
Man, some people were onto it.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about the parental control bill, anti-gay bill. And my initial thoughts before I toss the mic to you is it's already being controlled by being called something else. And that's the scary part. It's called the anti-gay bill when it's not anti-gay at all.
There's not even in it.
It's not even what it's about.
Not even in it.
Right, but of course, whatever the media puts out is ultimately what people are going to say. So that's my initial thoughts. Just it's very frustrating that people are already talking about the anti-gay bill. It's just parental control. And as you've heard me say in the past, we need better parents and less government. And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
So that's my initial thoughts. And I know we're going to get deep into this, but you can't call something that it's not. It's not fair. You need to call it for what it is. And if you look into the bill and you don't just read the headlines every day, I think you'll understand exactly what it is.
And that's the problem with a lot of these things. So we talked in the last episode about the Georgia voter ID law, and they hated that. Well, they frame it, the media, they frame it as that bill was racist and, to keep people from voting, when it was not the case at all. So when they're framing stuff and it's dishonest, that should immediately question what is the actual intention behind it. So I wanted to read you what's exactly in this parental rights bill that Desantis passed, or the Don't Say Gay bills, what the media, corporate media, everyone is pushing. Okay. You ready for this, guys?
Please. I didn't know you can read, so this is good.
No, this is, So it reinforces parents' rights to make decisions regarding the upbringing of their children. Do any of you have a problem with that? Okay. It prohibits the instruction of sexual or transgender ideology from kids from kindergarten through 3rd grade.
So you're talking about ages 5 through 9.
5 through 9.
5 through 10. Depends.
Honestly, I think that's a little bit weak. It should be fucking K through 6.
Yeah.
Because when do you have sex ed? Not till like junior high, 7th grade.
Yeah,
typically.
well, yeah. I mean, like, you don't even get a boner until you're, I don't know. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? My little pecker, I was like, holy shit, what is going on when I was like 11 or 12 or 13 or whatever the case
That's what I'm saying.
is.
So, yeah. You didn't know what the fuck it is.
And then you jack off and nothing would come out. Remember those days? Not anymore, boys. Wrap it, boys. Wrap it. Yeah, that was good.
Can you imagine if there was a Republican saying, I'm going to talk to my kindergartners about fucking, about sex.
Doesn't matter
about
what
cock and balls, cock and pussy. Like,
just crazy shit.
They'd be thrown in jail immediately.
Yeah.
As they should.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick. Okay. The third part of it, which is very, I think, reasonable, and if you don't agree, comment. It requires that schools notify parents of any changes to their children's mental, emotional, physical health, or well-being.
Sure.
So if your child is going through, if your child is suicidal, if your child is being bullied, if your child is sad, it's the teacher's duty to tell the parents. The parents can figure out the right way to handle it.
Sure.
Seems pretty normal, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what is the left claiming?
Well, let's do this, Chris. Let's break down all three of those.
Yeah.
So reinforces parents' rights to make decisions on the upbringing of their children. So look, I don't have any kids. You don't have any kids. I'm not a parent, but I know a lot of parents, and my parents are parents, if that makes sense, obviously. And look, the upbringing of a child, the morals, the values, philosophies that are forever ingrained come from their parents, not from their school. Now, there's nurture and nature. And if you think about nurture, the nature part, they came from their kids, but they're also nurturing those kids specifically through those ages specifically. And the kids don't know what they don't know. And their parents realistically are the end all be all. They're the final say. They're at that age from 5 to 10 or whatever the case is. Let's just use that for an example, 5 to 9. They are the number one role model, the number one person that person looks up to, or that kid looks up to, are their parents. So all this bill is saying is that the parents ultimately make the decision on what. That's it.
That's it. They're not saying they can't be transgender. They're
not saying they can't be gay.
They can't say they can't be gay.
They're saying that
that's a conversation that the parent needs to have with their child. That's it.
Correct.
If you are being dishonest and trying to frame this as it's discrimination against transphobic kids. First of all, kids kindergarten through 3rd grade are not anything. They're not sexual beings. They don't have the hormones to be sexual creatures.
No idea.
No. So now you want to, so child is the most extremely malleable mind that there ever was.
Especially that age.
Especially at that age.
Yep.
And you think it's appropriate to indoctrinate your kids. And these teachers, you see them like making Pledge of Allegiance to the gay flag, talking about their sex life. Like, I'm sorry, you guys are fucking sick.
That's disgusting.
You guys are sick. And this goes to our transgender ideology. It's about us. It's about me. And it's about grooming these next kids to accept me. Because I'm a fucking freak.
Yeah.
And I'm so selfish and conceited that I need to now brainwash these children.
Yeah.
So that the next generation accepts me.
It's grooming.
It's grooming.
And the tough part is, just like you said, it's so malleable during that age group. It's literally the second part to unbox the second part. The bill prohibits the instructions of sexual and transgender ideology from kindergarten to 3rd grade. These kids that are 5 through 10 years old, guys, where have we lost or where have we dropped the ball that we don't remember when we were that age? or we don't remember what we were being taught that age. I remember like it was the back of my hand. I remember
I
kindergarten.
can name all my elementary school teachers.
Mrs. Troy is where I was in 3rd grade. Mrs. Verithaler, if I'm not mistaken,
so influential,
Pastor
bro.
Rob was when I was in 2nd grade. Mrs. Adams, which was when I was in 1st grade. This was in California.
So important,
Guys.
though. Dude, do you remember it all? Think about that.
So
Kids remember your elementary. I don't know. I couldn't name you a college professor or I could name you like 1 or 2 high school teachers.
I have one college professor, Dr. Jeffrey I. Messer, fucking guy's the man. But other than that, I don't remember.
But you remember,
fuckers.
I can name you all my
Miss Tomlinson,
teachers.
Miss Workman.
Yep.
Oh, these are all elementary, 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Miss Tomlinson was in 5th grade. This is a very impressionable time in your life.
Important.
And the worst thing dude, these kids need to worry about playing. They need to worry about meeting their best friends. They need to worry about what the fuck about sex. That's the last thing that they need to even be on their radar, and it shouldn't be on their radar, man. It should be about playing. It should be about having fun. It should be. This is all a grooming technique to ultimately change the narrative on how this society works. And it's so sad that our kids, and this is the part, and I know we talked about this on the first episode, but this is the part that parents, when you start fucking with kids at this age, this is the part where parents stand up. And if you're a parent and you have a kid of this age,
You better stand up.
You better stand the
Before
fuck
it's
up
too
right
late.
now.
Grow the fuck up.
Because there was people in the Prohibition days, there's people that stood up for this country before it was even a country that died for their kids and for their family to have freedoms in the future. And for these folks, these leftist, weirdo, loser fucking freaks, just like you said.
Yeah, fucking freaks.
To
You guys are sick.
To press this upon children at that age, dude, wait for them to be adults. Dude, look, you go through so much. If you look at the human biology, you go through so much between the ages of 12 and really 18. And moreover, from the ages of 18 through 25 until your prefrontal cortex is actually even developed.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't even be talking about this. I get it, like getting in front of the curve, so to speak, and talking about what's out there, but not at this age. Wait until they're in high school and talking about it, not pressing this. It's just grooming is all it is. And that's the second piece of this. That's all it is at this age.
Well, I mean, in our transgender talk, we talk about the idea is to destroy the nuclear family. The feminist movement was about getting both parents working.
Yeah.
So that ultimately that the children could be controlled by the state.
Mm-hmm.
If you, again, with everything we've been talking about, if you don't see the plays that are happening, you're watching it. If you're actually informed, you're watching, you see them encroaching. That's what they're doing to the kids. I'm sorry. You're a sick human being if you're talking about sex to a kindergartner or to a 3rd grader.
Dude, it's like
Simple as that.
those kids should be on your shoulders having a good time and not worried about.
You shouldn't even be talking about that.
It's so crazy because we went from not only 10 years ago, parents being nervous to have the birds and bees conversation with their 17-year-old kid to now this.
Well, you know, it's crazy too.
And you're standing down.
And this is, I don't know the data on this, and I was trying to look it up. I couldn't find a good study on it. Like, I wonder what percentage of trans kids have leftist parents.
So there's actually, I have it on my phone.
Oh, you found something?
So there is, and I'll post this on my Instagram
because that'd be fascinating
when this goes out there. It's not leftist and parents.
Because I saw something where it talked about how they looked at like baby boomers and the next generation millennials.
Yeah.
And it went up. It was like
it's
the
incremental.
number of trans were like
28%.
1%, then it was like 3%.
And then now it's like 20.
Now it's like 25% of people identify as LGBTQI.
Correct.
I'm sorry, guys.
So right now, as it sits, if you look at transgender, so if I polled, let's say 100 people, 21 or 21% right now estimate that there are 21% of the population is transgender. The true proportion, less than 1%. Now,
people think they're 21%?
People think 21% of the population think
they're not identifying. Not 21% is identifying.
21%. If you pulled 100 people, 21 would say 21 people, 21%.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which means that their movement's working.
Correct.
We think it's more.
We think it's more.
Which is
it's actually less than 1%. And if you look at baby boomers and you look at like historically millennials and then Generation Z, X, whatever it is, they go up in time because their movement is working. And this goes on and on to talk through.
Wow.
Our members of a union are bisexual people think that 29%, which might be pretty close. Shout out to college. Estimated proportion of people, 30% are bisexual. Reality and true proportion, 4%. Are gay or lesbian? Proportion estimated 30%, actual 3%. What's crazy is, and this is known in the black community, and if you look at things, what's the estimated proportion of black folk, African Americans with inside of the U.S.? 41% are black, actual 14. So this
fascinating.
I'll throw this out there when we post this podcast. Yeah. But it's very interesting to say, because the narrative is ultimately working, that all of us are the same, or whatever the case is. And again, I just, to go back to the topic at hand, which is this anti-gay bill or parental control bill. When you look at it, it's just not the time or place to mess with young kids.
Well, talk about, so as part of, the part of the law that says it prohibits teachers, from hiding information from their students.
Right.
Or hiding information about the students from their parents. So they came out with this bill, and which is so fascinating. So Disney, okay, which a lot of people love Disney. Disney, who, if you've ever studied Disney since like 2011, they've had multiple busts for human trafficking ring among employees. The most recent, they arrested 35 Disney employees for massive human trafficking ring. It's a sick organization, okay? They came out, and they're out of California.
Not what Walt Disney would ever imagine.
No, and their board members are talking about how we're going to intentionally,
it's evil. It's evil, dude.
Intentionally put gay people and transgender and gay scenes in our children's videos. How fucking sick are you, dude?
Just let the kids be kids.
No, but that is evil. It's not just like, let them think what they want. It is, you are intentionally grooming these kids to push this on them. It infuriates me.
Yeah, because
I'm so happy I don't have a kid right now, because I would fucking...
I know. And that's why so many people are disowning Disney. And so many people are not leveraging and using Disney. It's so crazy to me. I mean, literally, there was just a person that just came out that said they worked for a different company, and ultimately they're so happy that they're working here now because they've been personally trying to press and push the LGBTQ community inside of these movies and so on and so forth at Disney, and there's been no pushback. But yeah, there's been no pushback. There's been 35 people that have been fucking arrested for the pedophilia ring and for
they don't talk about it,
for child porn and so on and so forth.
Why would they?
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, let these kids be kids, man. Why can't they be kids? Like, you look at, if you really watch Disney movies now as a cultured adult, so to speak, you start to look at these things, and there's some sexual innuendos, and there's some, like, if you look at all the different, like, weird things that happen with inside of Disney, there's a lot of weird shit that goes on. There was a recent one now that's on the Disney prepaid card or gift card or whatever the case is. It looks like Minnie Mouse. It literally looks like a dick.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
I saw her dress looks like a dick, and he's holding it.
Yeah, and he's holding it, and he's looking at it.
Yeah.
It's, guys, if you don't think that these things are subtly being put into Disney and subtly being put into all these, like, media outlets and so on and so forth, you're literally crazy, because it's all true. They're trying to push their narrative. It makes me disgusted. Pastor Rob, you got one on the way. You got a kid that's out there, obviously. You know about all this stuff. It's terrible, man.
Yeah. I mean, not to get
He's
into...
homeschooling. That's what you just said. I'm homeschooling. There you go.
Hey, for the record, I'm starting a conservative school.
Ooh, okay? I love this. Here we go.
I'm going to fund it all with my own fucking money.
Yeah.
And it's going to teach you, guess what? The crazy topics: English, history, math. But I'm going to even go as far as investing. I'm going to go as far as accounting. Yeah. Give you actually useful things, not calculus and these useless.
I don't use calculus for a damn thing.
No, I'm gonna teach you family values, Christianity. But going to Christianity too, is we talked about, in other podcasts, the history, watching history. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you talk about like Sodom and Gomorrah, or like you talk about like the end of Greece, when civilizations collapse is when we start letting the evils of our population take over control of our societies. Yeah. And that includes pedophilia, that includes gay, That's been a known thing throughout every society. When they fall is when you start to see the rise of these crazy ideologies. And I guarantee in the next couple of years, we're going to see, and I almost feel bad for the gay community, because the gay community is just trying to do their thing.
Gay, lesbian community.
Totally.
100%.
God bless you guys. I don't care.
It's awesome.
It's not, I don't agree with it, but so be it. You can do whatever you want. But they're getting hijacked by the transgender, and then now these same leftists that are pushing it on children. We got to bring children in.
It's age verified acceptance, or it's
sickening, dude.
It's age acceptance or young adult, whatever it is. And as soon as, and you're right, I feel bad for the gay and lesbian community and that whole community in general, because at the end of the day, if this, I forget what it's called, and I should have been more prepared, but there's a group that's trying, it's like literally age verified or whatever the case is. And if that gets accepted in the LGBTQ, and you just go on and on with these letters, then that whole system, that whole movement of folks that are like the gay and lesbian folks that are doing it the right way, that again, if maybe we don't agree with it, but at the end of the day, fucking whatever, right? And then these people that are pedophiles that are trying to push all of the shit on there get accepted with inside of that group then gets lumped together, and that's not fair to that group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
not,
fucking crazy to me, man.
Well,
where's Chris Hansen when you need him? The guy that did, you know what I'm talking about? There's
Chris Hansen would be thrown, they would crucify Chris Hansen.
Yeah, where's this guy been?
You're calling out pedophiles? That's evil. Yeah. That's not fair.
Where's he been?
That's discrimination
Did he
against
die?
pedophiles.
He's still doing it?
Oh, good.
He needs to be fucking wrapped it up. He's probably getting paid. That's why he's been quiet.
He's tried too many cases. He's too
many cases, too busy?
He's too backed up with old pedophiles.
He's like me after I eat way too much cheese. Way too backed up.
He's just too backed up. Oh, man.
It's good, man. But yeah, I can't imagine all these folks that want to sit down. Like, if there's all these things on the internet right now about, the internet's undefeated, but there's all these people on the internet saying, all these poor people are losing, these poor teachers in Florida, under third grade teachers, whatever the case is, are losing their job because they don't want to teach and they don't want to do this. Look, let me just say this very clearly. What kind of sick fucking human being? What kind of sick human being wants to talk to a third grader or someone under 10
talk to them
about
their sex life?
It makes me fucking sick. You want to talk to them about, hey, what kind of sports? How's school? Are you learning any new instruments? You know what I mean? Like, not, hey, let's sit down and let's talk about penises and vaginas and how it's okay for you to do whatever you want to do with that little pee-pee or that little VJJ. You could do whatever you want. You can rub and scissor. You can fucking space dock, whatever you want. Like, what are you talking about? These kids don't know what the hell you're talking about. They just want to play and have fun with their friends, man. So the reality is that these people need to be held accountable for these bills and so on and so forth and what they're pushing in our schools. Again, they're public schools, guys. Public schools. These aren't private schools. These are public schools. And they're open to the majority of human beings, right? So they're going to push whatever they want to push. And if you think about it, whoever has the biggest dollar amount, whoever's on the school board, whatever the case is, they're going to push what they push. And it's just, to me, it's absolutely disgusting. And it's grooming, man, because if you think about it, you have God-fearing, great individuals that are leaders in the community, that are great men and women across the entire board, that are raising great, you said atomic families, right? They're raising great families and so on and so forth. Nuclear, atomic. Nuclear families. They're doing all the right things, so on and so forth, for hundreds of years at this point, right? And now they understand and know that little by little, it's getting harder to push their agenda. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to push their agenda early to people that they can groom and that people that don't know the difference. And that's the tough part. And that's why I think Chris and I are so frustrated, and you should be frustrated. We don't even have kids, and maybe you do that you're listening. They're trying to groom them early so that they can mold and like mend, so to speak, their mind around their views so that ultimately they can vote for them.
And it's also a political thing. Correct. Well, one thing too, and Ben Shapiro talked about this in his podcast, which if you guys don't listen to that, you totally should. He's a little too conservative.
He's very conservative.
He's very conservative, but it's good to listen to that. You should listen to all perspectives, left, right, middle, everywhere. But he basically talks about how the media saying that this is a don't say gay bill is so dishonest.
Sure.
They know that this has nothing to do with don't say gay, but they're perfectly framing it to rile up division because there's so many people that are okay with gay to make it be like this evil Desantis is pushing this law to discriminate against gay kids. Not the case at all. Like, it is so dishonest.
Yeah, and if you think about DeSantis in general, he's probably going to be Trump's running mate in 2024. I'm assuming if he doesn't do it by himself, right? So again, I like him.
I love him.
Fucking love him. But I'm saying, like, we'll see what happens, right? We'll see if Trump uses him as a VP. If they go against each other and Trump gets the GOP, then you'll probably have him, or fucking probably vice versa, right? So I think those two will probably team up in 2024. But you're already trying to start this narrative that, you know, he's anti-gay and so on and so
forth. But the thing is, people are not. The media is framing it dishonestly. The teachers and actually the left knows that that's not what's in the bill. And the funny thing is that they're simply upset about the fact that the bill protects parents' rights. That's the only reason they're upset is because they know what's in the bill. They know it's about not letting the school system have unparalleled power. They know that it's about protecting parents' rights. They don't think it's actually discrimination against gays. It's like this. It's funny. I saw something where it said, we're not teaching transgender ideology and sexual ideology to your kids. And then DeSantis comes in and says, well, I'm just going to pass this bill to make sure that if you do, there's consequences. Then they all say, I'm quitting. I'm done.
So that means you are.
Of
You're
course.
guilty.
No shit. Yeah. You guys were. You know exactly what you're doing, you lefty fucking sick fucking teachers. You know exactly what you're doing to these kids. You know that this bill has nothing to do with anti-gay. All you know is that this bill, which is finally a bill that accomplishes what it's meant out to do, to protect parents' rights and to stop the spread of this toxic, evil ideology, it actually works. And that's the only reason you're so upset. Because we caught you. We caught you. You're in the spotlight, motherfucker.
Who do you think you are? Like, I keep thinking about that. Who do you think you are?
They think they run the world.
No, I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking about these teachers.
I'm talking about teachers.
Fuck do you think you are? You motherfuckers, dude, and this is why you go back to, like, equal pay and shit. You're supposed to teach our kids fundamentals, history, economics, whatever the case is, core things that are approved by the state board, math, English, history, science. You're making a decision, biology, XX, XY, so on and so forth, not social views. Who do you think you are to take that away from parents of children? That you think you're gonna beat on your old chest because you have a fucking bachelor's in fucking underwater basket weaving, and you're gonna fucking you got a teacher job, and you're gonna teach my kids or our kids about sex, and at the ages of 5 through 10, who the fuck do you think you are? And God sees you, and you deserve your place in hell.
Well, you know what it is.
This is disgusting.
So, like, my girlfriend's dad, he's from Indiana, and he's badass dude. And he talks about, like, we'd go out every week and we just, get in fights and we just fight it out, and so be it. Like, that was actually, that was the way that the way America was.
Up until what has happened, everyone started suing each other. And
correct.
Shit, yeah.
What has happened now is, because the way laws are, because of the amount of cameras we have, because of all this stuff, and because of social media specifically, people that should not have a voice nor a following have both. And back in the day, if you talked poorly about someone's child or someone's sister or someone's girlfriend, that's all right. I'm showing up at your doorstep. We're just gonna fight it out. Park. You better fucking let's go, big boy. Like, that's it. That's it. We're gonna solve it like men. Someone's gonna get hurt. We're both gonna get hurt, and so be it. And we're gonna solve it. These people have never been punched in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, you're right, man.
They have never been punched in the mouth.
These
leftist teachers with their purple hair, they think they're invincible because they're little Facebook groups and their little circles that all say, you're an ally. You're an ally for the LGBTQ.
Not in that real world, man.
Motherfucker.
You get real world, you punch in the face, man.
You want to go to Afghanistan? You want to see real motherfuckers? They don't give a fuck about you.
No.
But here we do. Here we've created a little playground where we're accepting of all. Mind your own business. Be nice.
And that's
the problem.
And that's the thing. And again,
that's where this comes from.
As soon as it starts to encroach on children, that's where we get this attitude. Because if it's a young adult,
mad before,
I'm not this mad. Like, dude, you're talking about 20, 30-year-old people, so on and so forth. Like, fuck who you want to fuck. Do what you want to do.
Wear a dress.
Whatever the case
I don't
is,
care.
I am addressing the children. Stop it. Stop encroaching on people. Stop grooming people. Stop doing this shit.
You're sick.
This is when you get punched in the fucking face.
You're sick. You're evil.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you're on the wrong side of history.
You're on the wrong side of history.
You totally are.
And that's where we'll leave it off, man, because there's a choice that every single person needs to make, and you either got to make the right one or the wrong one. There's a fork in the road, and if you're going to sit here and be on the right side of the history, or you're going to be on the wrong side of history. And in my opinion, Chris's opinion, and so many others' opinion, if you're okay with your kid or your friend's kids, or whatever the case is, if you don't have them, to be taught on who the fuck, what the fuck, how it looks,
K
what it
through
looks
third
like.
grade.
From K through third grade, you're on the wrong side of history.
Fucking rest in hell.
Right? Yeah. There's no reason for you to be alive. So, look, man, it's a controversial topic, but it's not that controversial because really, if you think about it, what are we talking about? What are we arguing over?
Don't talk about
use your voice.
K through third grade.
Use your voice.
Use your voice.
You parents should be fucking pissed. You should be at every PTA meeting. You should be at every single city council.
Get involved.
Get involved.
Your
Stop
kids are the
sitting
most
on
important thing.
And you know what, man? I hate to say it. Maybe you shouldn't be having kids. If you can't speak up and be a leader for your family in situations like this, and you shouldn't have any more kids, you should be snipped. I'm just being honest.
One thing before we end it.
Sure.
I don't even know if we should go
disgusting.
there. But I was having a conversation with someone. They said, you know what? Let them push this ideology. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not going to be reproducing and stuff. Like, it is
a population control thing. No, it's a good place to go.
Well, it could go.
That's exactly where it is.
Maybe the movement is to stop our.
That's what it is, Chris.
It is totally, but eventually it will die out because, like, give it 2 generations, like it's just not going to exist. You need straight people and people that can.
It is.
Bring children to.
Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum have talked about
destroy the population.
Destroy the population. Right. How do you do that? Well, you push this movement, and how do you do it? You push it early.
Push it early.
Yeah, I mean that's how they're doing it. They want less people. They want
pandemics out there.
Throw some pandemics out there. Throw some ideologies out there that might not be popular, and more importantly, might prohibit people from reproducing and so on and so forth. Well, guess what happens? That's what happens, man. Like you have less people. This is all a ploy and a push, tinfoil hat on, whatever the fucking case is. This is all a push by the World Economic Forum and the powers that be, whether you like to hear it or not. These are all these people just saying, hey, you need to have less folks out there. Why? Well, because the smaller the population,
easier to control.
If you actually look at it, the average, the easiest population control is in the hundreds of thousands. We have 300 plus million. If you shrink that down or you continue to have population growth stunted or plateaued, it's easier to control those folks.
Totally. Yeah.
So you have different guys. It's a fucking 4, 5, 6 pronged approach. It's isolation. It's gas prices. It's transgender. It's the gay movement. It's COVID. It's all of these other things ultimately just to control population.
Where do you think it'll be when we're like 60, 70?
We're going to be in a really dark spot if people like you and I and people like most people that are listening right now don't stand the fuck up.
I do have a faith though that
say shit, do something.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a saying, hard times create strong men. I just don't think we've gotten hard enough times.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it will get to a point where it has become so dark that, I mean, there are men out there that are fucking put us to shame.
Oh, dude.
That are so hard. You think you're encroaching on their rights, their kids, they'll do something.
Yeah.
You know,
they'll take you out.
My point is, I just don't think we hit that point yet.
Yeah, I think, before we die, we'll end up in that last cycle that we probably just went through.
Everyone does. Everyone goes through the cycle.
Everyone goes through the cycle 3 or 4 times. Hard times
create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times. 80-year cycle.
It's an 80-year
lifetime.
So we
You're
just
gonna hit
went through
all
the
those
good
phases.
times, folks.
We had the good times. Fuck, those are good times.
And now, yeah,
that was a good time. Though.
Yeah,
We had a good time.
We had
We had a good time. Let's end on a positive.
Yeah, 100%. So look, if you like the show, you got something out of it, you appreciate our conversation.
We're not going to stop.
Even if you didn't like it, our voices are not going to be shunned, so to speak. They're not going to be
Message
diminished.
us, comment.
Comment.
I like ideas.
Yeah.
But
if you 100%, go. Yeah.
No,
if you have ideas, I love it.
Go. Give us
Comment.
ideas.
And look, we're also open to things that we're not people that are so close-minded. If you don't like this fact and you want us to bring it up on the next episode, or you want us to address something that maybe we didn't address, put it in the comments, man. Throw something out there.
Yeah.
We're in for it. We have plenty of topics that we're going to leverage and use. There's no doubt about it. And we're going to come to you and bring something new and fresh every single week. But without further ado, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, Chris. You're a great man.
You're a great man.
And even better scholar. And
You're a gentleman as
Pastor Rob. Go with
Rob,
God.
We love you.
You know what I mean?
This is
Spotify, YouTube, and
Unboxed episode 3.